Hey, what's up everyone? Pete the Guttural Monk here. Today I've got 14 brand new releases to share with you, but before I do that, I wanted to apologize for never actually posting that giveaway video that I had mentioned in my last collection update. Things have just been crazy busy around here. I've actually got my job flying me out to Kentucky this Friday, so if I can somehow survive the 8 distilleries and 5 breweries that we're going to be doing over the course of the time that we're there, I'm going to try to post that video at some time late next week, and then if not late next week, then early the following week. But again, I don't want to forget about it. It is a thank you from me to you for subscribing to the channel. If you missed what I said about it in the last update video, what I'm going to do is basically just put together a box of duplicate CDs and CDs from my own bands and, you know, stickers and any other cool shit that I have lying around. I'm going to send over to one lucky subscriber that, you know, wins whatever kind of fucking contest I decide to pull as a thank you for subscribing. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely do so. Give yourself a chance to win a box of cool shit. You know, like I said, I'm going to post that video sometime within the next 2 weeks, so that's happening. I was supposed to do it at 200 subs. Now the channel's already north of 220 subs, so again, before I forget, I want to make that happen. Starting off with the CD update, though, this is the brand new one from Destroyer 666. This is Wildfire, out right now on Season of Mist. This is a fucking awesome album. These guys have been around since the mid-90s. Most of you are probably very familiar with some of their material, most likely Unchain the Wolves. This album kicks ass. This is their first output since 2009. 3 out of the 4 members on this album are brand new to the family, including most notably RC, who just yesterday announced his departure from Krighsu, but he's still a member of Grave Miasma, so we're still going to get some awesome material out of him in that, you know, murky, doomed out death metal vein of things. This is some really fast, aggressive, fucking black and thrash metal with some really cool old school heavy metal influence. There's some clean vocals going on this album. I think this is easily Destroyer's most mature release. Cannot say enough good things about it. Check that one out if you are a fan of black and thrash or thrash in general, or just fucking great heavy music that makes you want to punch something, because that album is fucking great for that. Next up, this is the debut from Human. This is Cerebral Inwardness. Fucking blistering technical death metal. Riffs for days and days. This is out right now on Earthquake Terror Noise. Human hail from Italy. This is a band to absolutely check out. The production on this album is soft but super audible. Everything is in the right place and at the right level. Absolutely love this stuff. This is the best kind of like straightforward technical death metal release that I've heard in a long time. Order this directly from the band. I think you can get it through their Bandcamp. They're a bunch of cool dudes. They'll respond to you on Facebook or through email or something like that. Check this shit out before it blows up, because these guys are the band to watch in that genre. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Human. Next up, speaking of fantastic, this is Pangaea from Ecferus. Progressive black metal, shrouded in atmosphere. This is out right now on Voidhanger Records. This is just a fucking massive, massive black metal album, produced by Colin Marston, so you know you're going to get some excellent audio treatment happening here. Actually read a review on this one where the guy said that it sounds like there's some kind of like prehistoric shaman that's just shrieking and yelling and hissing while the world splits into the continents that we have today from Pangaea, the massive landmass that consisted, you know, on this planet years ago. That's dead on to what this album fucking sounds like. It is some fucking haunting, huge shit, but it's fucking beautiful at the same time. Absolutely love this stuff. Again, you can order this directly from the band. Save on shipping because it doesn't have to come from overseas from my Voidhanger. Fucking love this album. Really, really killer shit from Ecferus. Next up is another Colin Marston treatment. This is the Waldgefluster and Panopticon split, released just a couple weeks ago on Nordvis and Bindrune. Really cool, thick, heavy-duty recycled cardboard digipack. This split is 4 tracks. 1 original track from each band that is over 12 minutes in length apiece, so you're definitely getting your money's worth out of this one. And then each band records a cover of the other band's material, as their second track. Really cool stuff, folky, atmospheric black metal from both projects. The Waldgefluster track is absolutely out of this fucking world. Probably the best track that they've ever released, in my opinion. Absolutely love this stuff. If you're into that folky, atmospheric black metal thing and you haven't checked it out, do so. It's fucking killer. This next album you guys are probably all pretty familiar with. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but this is the new one from Wormed. This is Krighsu, out right now, again, on Season of Mist. Fucking A, what can't be said? This is hyper, non-terrestrial, brutal, technical death metal from another fucking planet. These guys never disappoint. It's always blistering fast and absolutely fucking brutal, throat-slitting shit from Wormed. It's awesome, and like I said, I'm not going to spend much time on it because you've all probably heard it, but it's a Wormed album, and it's fucking great. Shout out real quick to The Living Doorway, who got me into Wormed back in the day. The guy Jamie, who used to run that blog, was absolutely obsessed with them. He gave me my first chance at Wormed, and if for some fucking reason you're watching, or if any of you know Jamie, tell him to get his ass back on the internet and start doing something awesome for metal again, because that blog was fucking great. Yeah. Next up, this is a new one from Ripper. This is an experiment of existence. The CD version is out on Unspeakable Acts. Dark Descent Records handled the vinyl treatment on this one. Lightning fast, old school death metal with thrash, old school thrash with death metal influence, I should say. Oddly enough, this is the only Paolo Girardi cover art that appears in this collection update video, which is definitely a rarity for this channel. What can I say? I didn't think that these guys were going to outdo themselves from their first full length called Raising the Corpse. I think this album actually exceeds that as far as quality, which is an insane feat for these guys to pull off. This is the future of thrash metal, is bands like this. Ripper absolutely fucking kills it. And Unspeakable Acts, I gotta say, is on an absolute roll this year. They have some albums coming up in the next month or so that I am so excited for. That Nucleus CD is going to be fucking killer. But anyway, this is a new one from Amon Amarth. This is full length number 10 for these guys. Jomsviking is the name of this one. Out on Metal Blade Records, of course. Say what you will, these guys always release quality material, melodic death metal, Viking metal, whatever you want to call it. I think this is honestly their best album since 2008 or 2009's Twilight of the Thunder God. I think Johan Hegg's vocals sound the best that they have since Versus the World. Just monstrous and massive. It's a really good album. Say what you will about Amon Amarth, I don't give a shit, but the album is pretty killer. Next up, been waiting a long time for this one. This is the brand new one from Gadget, out right now on Relapse Records. This one is called The Great Destroyer. Been about 10 years since these guys released a full length. Awesome Swedish grindcore in the vein of Insect Warfare and Nazem and Rotten Sound. Absolutely love this shit. Really fast, aggressive. I think it's like a 35-minute ass kicking that you get from this album. But I don't buy much grindcore these days, but when I do, it's got to be a really special album, and this is totally it. Gonna get a lot of spins from me in the coming months throughout the rest of the year. Really love that shit from Gadget. Also, I'm linking all of these in the description. I know sometimes I move through them a little fast, and there's a lot of bands that might not know how to spell. But if you click the description button, you'll be able to see everything listed in the order that I talked about it. So do that. Next up, this is a fucking unique album. This is like a psychedelic, experimental doom album with like funeral influence and atmospheric black metal parts as well. Really unique shit. Female fronted, really ghostly vocals to it. It's a truly haunting and chilling album. This is Landless from 8 Bells, out on Battleground Recordings. I don't really own anything that sounds like this. I've never really heard anything that sounds like this, but it's absolutely fucking beautiful stuff. Check them out. It's certainly not the most metal thing you'll hear all year, but you're never going to hear anything kind of like this sound before or after experiencing this album. It's really, really killer stuff. Definitely check them out. 8 Bells, they're out of Portland, Oregon. Awesome stuff. This album showed up last night. I've spun it twice already. This album isn't even released until Friday, I believe, but Profound Lore is the best. They make it happen. This is the new one from Geryon. This is The Wound and the Bow. it's amazing. It's drum and bass only. It's straight up death metal, but it's so like trance like and hypnotic that I mean your brain really can't even process what's going on in an album like this. Again, Colin Marson treatment to the audio on this one. Awesome little fold out digipack. It has this real minimalistic feel about it. It's just text and textured paper. The album artwork is very simple, but it is just it's crazy stuff. It has that very kind of like metallic and clanging bass noise about it. It almost sounds like a hammered dulcimer at times. Like it's fucking wild shit. Their first album, the self-titled Geryon, it was only a digital release. I spun that more times than I feel comfortable telling you about. Fucking awesome stuff. I was so looking forward to this one. This album didn't disappoint. Like I said, I've only spun it twice so far, but it's going to get so much rotation time in the coming months. So happy to have it. And I gotta say, Chris from Profound Lore, keep up the awesome work. You're killing it this year, but also please re-release the Geryon self-titled on some kind of physical format, because I want to have that in my collection really fucking bad. That's it for the 2016 new releases. Now I've got a couple reissues, of course. First one being a 2-disc set from Disma. This is the Vault, the Lost Vault of Chaos. So what this is every non-album track that the band has ever recorded, smashed into one massive compilation, as well as a live set. So this holds the Vault of Membros demo, the Manifestation 7-inch, the split with Winterwolf, the split track that they did with Convulse, as well as the bonus tracks from Towards the Megalith. Say what you want about Disma. I can't wait for their new album to eventually release. Absolutely love their shit. Their breed of old school death metal. Fucking haunting stuff. Craig Pillard, say what you will about him. He's one of the best vocalists of all time. Absolutely love it. So stoked to finally have some of those recordings in my collection. Finally. Next up from the Crypt, this is Nocturn with Estranged Dimensions. This was originally released in 1991, I believe. These guys were from the Netherlands. Play a very unique style of death metal mixed with thrash metal, but instead of going a route like the band Ripper, for example, where they blend the fast elements of both genres, these guys took the slower, more punishing elements of death metal and kind of relied on a lot of tempo changes to really guide their sound. Never really approaching doom, but definitely that slowed down, chugging, stabbing motion of death metal with the aggressive, killer motions of thrash. A really cool piece of death and thrash history. Again, I never thought I'd really own this album, but the Crypt always comes through. Limited to 1,000 copies. You can buy it through Dark Descent's web store. Fucking awesome stuff. If you haven't heard it, definitely check it out if you're into the obscure old school awesomeness. Next up, I showed 2 of these albums on my last collection update. This is the Nuclear Death, For Our Dead, and Creatures Great and Eaten album and EP smashed together on one compilation, reissued by the Crypt. Nuclear Death is just some fucking bizarre out there death grind, female fronted, completely fucking depraved and manic stuff. So this is their last go-ahead at like death metal and grindcore before they changed direction into like a more like experimental rock thing. But really awesome stuff nonetheless. I don't recommend starting with this if you're new to Nuclear Death. Definitely check out Carrion for Worm and Bride of Insect before you do that. They're a little bit more like user-friendly, I guess you could say, when it comes to straight-up death grind, rather than something like this. But really awesome stuff. And before I forget, this reissue features a lot of Lori Bravo artwork in the liner notes. There's a piece right there. Really fucking awesome, gory, disgusting stuff. One of my favorite obscure bands of all time. Last up, this is the granddaddy of all reissues so far this year. This is the Century Media double disc treatment on the first Morbid Saint album. Actually, this is pretty much a discography right here. This is Spectrum of Death, the Black Tape demo. This is Destruction System, which is their second and unreleased full length, and a bunch of demo recordings from like 2010, 2011. awesome fold out, obviously double disc digipack. Century Media did this one the right way. It is fucking gorgeous. It includes this fucking huge novel of a liner book, tour posters, lyrics, photos, everything you could ever want to know about Morbid Saint is in this book. The albums sound fucking awesome. If you don't know Morbid Saint, check them out. Originally, this album came out in like 1990. A little bit of Cannibal Corpse influence to it, although much, much thrashier. It is one of the most awesome, obscure albums of all time that I don't know why it's so obscure. The guys who love it speak nothing but high about it, but for some reason this has remained, a very, very obscure album until now. This is hopefully going to open a lot of people's eyes to Morbid Saint. Fucking killer release, thick as a fucking brick. Awesome double disc digipack from Century Media. Check that one out. It's limited. I don't know what it's actually limited to, but I know a lot of distros have already moved through their stuff. So get your hands on it before it's too late. Get your hands on an awesome piece of death and thrash history from Morbid Saint. That's all I got for this collection update. Like I said, I'm going to be back within the next 2 weeks for the giveaway. Subscribe now if you haven't done so. Give yourself a chance to win some cool shit directly from me. And I'll be back, the beginning of May with the next round of shit. I've got a ton of stuff in transit, so it's going to be another large collection update of 2016 releases. But until next time, cheers, guys.